It's tea time with
Kelly.
See?
and Lee. He was your number 3.
So my number 3 is gonna be Sword of Kaigen. I love the Sword of Kaigen. I like when a book gets me to there was a big scene that happens and I close that book for 2 days. I am not reading, guys. I do not care what you say. Because I was so deep in my feelings.
And we were behind at that point. And T was like, A, hurry up, but also just know I'm
I
still not
could
reading
give up
though.
at this point. I don't have to read another word. I mean, I'm glad I finished, but also like, don't make me feel that deep
Yeah.
for these
It was
imaginary
it was
people.
given all things. All
I
the
had seen
things.
a video of someone sobbing reading this, and I now know what part they got to when they were sobbing. Absolutely.
I Sword of Kaigen is one of the ones. Anytime I hear oh, I like fantasy. Have you read this book?
Let me tell you about a book I've read.
I mean, I'm your pusher at this point.
Yeah, don't let me scroll and I see someone saying, books I hope to get through this fall or whatever, and I see sort of in your comments. Never commented on the video before, but let me tell you to move this one to the top.
Let me
To the
tell
To
you.
top
the
of
top.
to the
Let me
tip
tell
of
To
the
you.
the top.
And like, so everybody, as they're reading it, you think it's gonna be about one thing. And Mo says, "You think I'm an amateur?"
skirt.
Yeah. Because we were feeling like we've read with some other books this year. Where do we go from here? Like, there was this much of the book left. I'm like, clearly this is not. Where are we going? Like, and do I trust you to get me there? Because I'm terrified at this
I'm
point.
telling you,
Because
there's
we
one
had just
author.
gotten started.
Her series has gotten her banned from my reading eyes ever again. You've ruined it, man. You've ruined it.
So y'all don't want to read. She has another standalone. Y'all don't want to read it.
I can only be victimized by somebody typically once. I I'm very rigid on that rule. Like if I feel like you have, unbeknownst to you, because obviously you don't know who I am, that you have quite literally, I'm a victim. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could go through that again and not become that reader that we know we don't like and be in someone's DM being very unnecessarily upset. Like I just feel like I shouldn't. I would be unnecessarily
I
upset.
was told that the next one is a complete story. Like, I think that, you know what's funny? I'm trying to
Bunch of
convince y'all.
other like initial people we need to get through before we circle back to this.
That's fair. It's funny. I'm asking y'all, and the book's been sitting on my shelf, and I haven't picked it up either. So, Lee, why haven't you picked it up?
But see, the crazy thing to me is it's like, oh, this is actually a complete book. So all I'm hearing is like Mortal Kombat, finish him. So she's just gonna take me all the way out. She took me to the edge and let me hang. And this time, if it's a complete book, that means she's gonna quite literally kill me. I don't know if I can
I
handle it.
believe that.
I believe that the ending will be a crusher, and then we're never gonna read ever again because I don't trust anyone. Now I can
I
only do
started
rereads,
slumping
but I
after
know
that
what
book.
happens at the end because now I don't trust you.
You started slumping after sword. That's fair.
I
I'm one.
did.
Just in case anybody wanted to know, my number 3 book was 10,000 Hours with a Rich Menace by Jaquel J.
So
I
you hate my dog? I don't even have a dog.
Maverick Menace Caselli, okay?
Ellie.
I've been watching the girls on threads prank these men, and I'm like, the list is Maverick. The end. That's the list.
You
I
know
don't
who do not like a Maverick is Talia.
yeah, she quite literally was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, you can't even take this man to a restaurant." And you know what?
Fried chicken nuggets, no sauce.
Everything that they are saying is valid. But what does Megan say? My man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby. Uh, First of all, You love I maybe I need to be checked, but as soon as he grabbed that girl up and he kidnapped that girl, I said,
You definitely
Uh,
need to be checked, but I agree. I
I just
concur, but you definitely need to check.
and also I just loved it wasn't even just Maverick that I loved Stevie, right? I loved this idea of this quirky, artistic, beautiful but not stereotypically beautiful, out there, like their love was just so it was so chaotic, but
Yeah.
I had a good time. I enjoyed watching it. I loved their 50 11 million nicknames for each other. I loved how stressed and how down bad. I love that this man don't even want you to squeeze the toothpaste, don't even want to put nothing but dry chicken nuggets in his mouth, but he had every part of Stevie all in his mouth. I loved every part of that book. And I read a lot of Jaquel J books this year. I think this year was the book I read like half her doggone catalog.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
by far, this one Menace did it for me. And then even reading Don was good, but like I was reading Don so that I could see like Menace and his life through Don's eyes.
So, and that's what I also liked about Menace is that Menace, as chaotic and hectic as he tries to be the most normal version of himself to be a like solid foundation for his siblings.
He does.
Like as jacked up as he is, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm on the tilt, but the tilt ain't tilting no more. It's gonna be right here,
It
so you
does.
know how to adjust." And so seeing, to your point, seeing Don go through and he's like, "Oh, I got this habit from Menace. Why would?" And then learning like, "Oh no, Menace was." And then when Menace took that fatherly role, like about old girl, and Don's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, listen, I would hate to go find somebody if I have to go find them."
I loved in Don when, old girl comes and she causes all that trouble at the table because she's trying to throw Navy's family
Unity.
off.
Oh,
And she literally is just like, he was hunching on me and we're cousins. And Menace is like, well, Stevie's my sister. Like,
Well,
so
obviously we're related. I mean, do you see my sister?
like his personality is so dry and so but that's Menace. I love and I also love like different mental health representations in books, and so like that OCD
That OCD.
representation, and it was like it was just I think it was really well done. And I mean we meet a lot of men in the Del Inferno universe, but Menace, that's my
so I
man.
loved Menace until I read Dawn. And again, things that don't make sense in 2025.
The
Things
love
that don't make sense in 2025. Dawn is a lover boy. But I will say I loved Menace more seeing Menace through Dawn's eyes because, and I will say it was a bit much for me. Wanda and him, I was just kind of, after a while I was a little over it, just a pinch. But I fell back in love with them as a couple in Dawn. And the part that made me laugh the most, which it's annoying. Like I found myself cracking up at Menace and Don when they were, I think, when they at the hospital or something, and he was just like, "I'm sorry," and Don was like, "For what?" He was like, "I pushed you down when we were 7, and you bumped your head, and clearly you have trauma from bumping your head. So I apologize for two." And it was just so for real though. He was like, "Clearly that's what we're doing right now. You obviously have a brain injury from when I pushed you down on the playground
You must.
25 years ago.
You
You have
must.
to." And I was crying.
I
Like I
love
had
that
tears in my
Menace.
eyes.
Like as much as we be laughing, Menace be so serious.
He's so serious. Dead serious.
He's
Just
looking
like
at
the
you like,
scene
"Why
Lee
are
was
you
talking about.
laughing?
Like,
My brother obviously needs open brain surgery right now."
he has a bleeding hematoma in there, and y'all think it's funny.
You think it's funny?
So I definitely fell in love with Menace more in Don, but I was surprised how much I enjoyed Don. Because again,
But Killa
up
also
is
did
down.
note that she loves found family.
I do.
And that was
I do.
big found family for
No,
the Caselli
Yes.
children.
Found family in a way we don't typically get.
For sure.
The rich, well-off man
Yeah.
found family with the average, normal, everyday girl. Again, I was like, yeah, she did her thing with that one. I was like, I love this. And then like the fact that her family was just 10 toes down for her. And like when they went and fought the cousin's boyfriend, and she was like, my mama and my aunties came too. And when I got tired, my mama tapped in because who you think you're messing with Green? I don't play that. I loved everything about that book. Everything about it was phenomenal.
I love Navy
That's
though.
good.
Navy was a good
Green and green. Get it together. I need to see it, please. Thank you.
Yes, it needs to happen. See, and I'm trying not to be that reader that's like, hey, quick question. When do we get that story? Question.
But the girls we're waiting for Goon.
Listen, so I think it's funny that on everybody's list, Goon is ranked and there is no book. They're like Goon, and then
But the pieces
like,
that we've seen of Miss
Yeah.
Lawyer Lady, yes.
let me tell you, I cannot.
And it
wait.
has to happen because she's in the family, so she's gonna have to get a book, and we know it's gonna be Goon. So just make it happen. Just do the
I
thing.
don't know if what I'm about to say is problematic, but maybe this started with Sister Soldier's Midnight. I love to see a Muslim man in a book. Inshallah. Okay, get down, pray, take care of the family, provide. Okay, and the way Goon is not letting off of Lawyer Bay and his chocolate babies.
And his chocolate babies.
Listen, I'm so excited. And when I was sitting here thinking about my ranking, Goon was absolutely number 2 on my list. And I'm like, it's insane. He doesn't have a book yet. But
Number 1 for me.
Where he's going.
But you already know that when it comes, it's going to be top tier.
The way Goon be in jail and always out of jail, I be like, like, what are we doing here? Are you locked up or not, bro?
So Kelly, this is one of those moments where I respect it took me a while, but I respect your want to read in different orders. But one of the good things about reading in order is like Goon was locked up, we missed him. And there was a scene in Qasim 2 maybe where like they're fighting and everything gets crazy and you're wondering, it looks like they're gonna lose. And then all of a sudden they round that corner and all you hear is fuck you. And it was just like, I feel like in that moment there was so much black girl joy. My kid was so excited. Like, Goon's out of jail. They're gonna have that chocolate baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna read more. I am going. I'm not gonna lie. That catalog which is crazy because that's like a hypocrite. I don't know why her catalog overwhelms me and CCJ's doesn't. But
so I don't know if it's helpful, but reading Jaquel's stuff is like she purposely, like the 3 installments, Capone 1, 2, and 3. That is really just one book, right? Like she gives it to you in like 200-page installments. So I know it feels overwhelming.
1.5 and a 2.5.
No, but so for a minute, maybe Capone's not a good example. Capadonna is the one that has 11 books. He had a 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, but each installment was like somewhere even 187 pages. It was like novella. And it was like people were so desperate for him. Instead of just waiting for a full book, she was giving. So when you actually bought her books from Book Event, like you have Capone in an installment, Capadonna in an. So if you think about it like that, it's not that overwhelming.
I definitely need to get into it more because I enjoyed both of those, and
you would love Capadonna.
I think I picked up.
You would love.
I picked up Capadonna. I think. Wait, no.
No, you started at
Capone. You started.
Yeah, I picked up Capone, and I didn't get far. Yeah, I didn't get far.
But I will say this. I think that, again, I've accepted that everybody doesn't have to read in order, but out of all of the men, I think you would absolutely adore Capadonna's reckless ass. That's it.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe the month that you do a CCJ month, I'll do a Jaquel month. Maybe that's what we do.
And where does that leave me?
I feel like we should do it together because if we do a CCJ month, y'all need to curate the list. I don't. Y'all know I get overwhelmed. If you leave me to a when I did the CCJ month with the girls, they literally were like, "This is where we're starting. We're starting with the love."
Okay, my number 3 is Blacktop Wasteland S.A. Cosby because I wasn't gonna have a top 5 without S.A. Cosby, and I know, like, I don't understand. So I did complete the last of his traditionally published catalog this year. I think read his last one for me last month, which was My Darkest Prayer. I don't know why I connected so much with Beauregard, Bo, whatever you want to call him. But I quite literally fell in love with that character, and I can't put my finger on why. He frustrated the piss out of me, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think the dynamics of, and we've already discovered this with the Porter brothers, right? Like, for some reason, when I see a group of men, like between him, his cousin, his uncle, like whenever I see a group of men and they're just good for each other and they're like I'm gonna eat it up. But I did struggle with the decisions he made throughout the book because it pissed me off. But then I also understood if he would have made the right choice in chapter 1, the book would have been over. So I'm not that insane, but I really did enjoy it. Again, I did it as a buddy read. It was really good. Yeah, but it broke my heart in so many different ways, though, because I just felt like he was that quintessential, just, I can't get right. Like, even though somebody was not, it wasn't even like subliminal messages on what to do. People were flat out saying, don't do that.
And he's like, so do this.
Yeah, and he'd be like, but there's nothing else to do. And they're like, actually, you can do, and they were giving him alternatives. You can do B, C, and D, but just don't do A. And he'd be like, he was so anchored down by the demons of his past that he just was like, I'm going to do the thing. It was driving me insane. And the fact that it ended up touching his family and all the things, like, yeah, it did it for me. And right now, I'm going back and forth in my own head. Razor Blade Tears has been my number 1 for S.A. Cosby since I've read it. I don't know if, like, right now I'm going back and forth, like, is it still my number 1 or is this my number 1? Like, I loved Ike and Buddy Lee. That story was so freaking good, but it would be for different reasons why I'm teetering back and forth on it. Yeah, but I did like Blacktop Waste. That's my 3. All right, T, what's your 2?
And so I'm just gonna call it. I'm gonna say roulette, Gray Huffington. That was my jam. Is my jam. I think of roulette in Israel often. Okay. I think that was my first physical Gray Huffington book I bought
Okay.
because I was just like, I need it. So good. So good.
You know what's funny? I had to look up when I read
Where
Rap.
does Roulette fall?
So it
Like, is
went.
she like is it like an Eisenberg where there's multiple in this story, or is she like a standalone?
So
Like,
But she's
where
all
is
part of
she?
the gray list, right? So it starts with chemistry. And then chemistry has 7 sisters that all start with the R.
Okay.
So that's where you have the Rugger, Roulette, and Rome, and Roman, and Riddle.
Another catalog that overwhelms me is Gray Huffington. I can't
um,
do it.
I think one year, maybe 2027, I think you should get into the M's.
Malachi,
it, it's
Mercer.
I understand why
Makai and Milo.
Malachi isn't people's favorite brother, but she wrote the hell out of that story. I still to this day think that was some of her best writing. I love that book.
So I get mixed reviews on Malachi. I think people like it. I think it's I don't want to call it the hoodoo voodoo of it all, but I think it's that part that gets people a little like, okay.
Well, Gray plays with supernatural things sometimes, and I don't want to give too much away, but somebody asked me to describe Rome to them, and I was like, I can't without giving too much away. But like, she plays with like times and realities and
No, for sure.
ways
And I
that,
think,
and she did that with Malachi too.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I had to
You know, that
look.
makes me feel like I wouldn't enjoy it.
no, 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 you would, because it's not as
I think what drives
forward
you,
facing as we're talking about it. It's
Mhm.
just elements in there.
I think she'll enjoy her shorts. I think what you don't like about my writing, you especially wouldn't like about Gray's writing because she's the goat at descriptive. So I think those novellas that get in and get out.
Oh, because I love Liam. Liam did it for me.
No, her shorts, baby.
Yeah.
I just yeah, and I do struggle with the babies. Like she is the Oprah of babies.
Gray
You get a
list.
baby, you get a baby, you get a baby. I'm just like I can't read any more
No, them girls
babies.
in the gray list be like, I don't want no kids.
I don't want kids. No, that was absolutely the brother. That was the L's had the most kids. There's people. I don't even think the M's have as much babies as the L's. They got kids now. You could tell me I'm wrong though. The M's got kids, but them L's had all
They
them
were
kids.
out of control. It was a breeding kink. The whole family. I don't care what you say.
I think it was
It was
only
not
Luca
okay.
that had the breeding kink, but okay.
Get off of her.
Yes, now
Jesus.
he did need to back up off of her. Luca,
A little
But
please
bit.
let her breathe.
if you read Ever's small short, I was moved to tears about her struggle with postpartum and all of that. It was
I would
so
not enjoy reading about Ever. I could not stand her as a character. I
I was about
did
to
not
say that
enjoy
was
Ever as a
no.
character. I don't want to read another
The
word about
gray
Ever,
shorts
actually.
are very spicy, very short, and I like that's where I started in her catalog. Like people were like, "Oh my gosh, Luca," and I was like, "I'm not reading about that. Do you see these other covers?" And also, you know me, men on covers, it will take me a long time to get to it. You put these beautiful black women on it, I'm reading it right now.
period, 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 period.
And I'm less likely to read it with a woman on the cover, more
I
likely to read
know,
with a
but
man.
that's where I start. Like people always be like, "Start with Luca," and I'm like, "Yeah, Luca," but also I think Gray's heart was in them shorts. Like even
I
her Substacks, like she's just writing, and it's like, yes, yes, ma'am.
but honestly,
But
as a creative, that makes sense. You get in, you get out, and
and you
it's like,
move on.
and you move on.
Gray
Like
don't know these people.
staying in these series are like the worst thing I could have ever done was stop.
Gray was looking out the window, was like, mm-hmm. Oh, she got a camera. Oh, and he clearly sells drugs.
Door
Oh,
closed.
he's a nurse. Oh, he clearly sells drugs. Oh, they best friends. She just peeping out the blinds, just catching people, writing the stories, and moving on to the next thing.
I love that. Though. I enjoy that. I adore it.
Oh, God. Y'all are too funny.
See, what's your number two?
My number two is The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wang.
Period.
Look
I
at how pretty much putting Emma Wong on the list.
feel like I don't need to explain why, but
No,
I
you
think
need to explain why it's so high.
so. What did it for me? And I know the book was so good, but what did it for me was the duality of the main character Masaki. She
Yeah,
started that
Masaki really spoke to you from the beginning.
she started that book off saying, I don't want to be a mom. I'm not connecting with these kids. Like I'm married to the greatest like fighter of all time, but I can't like I literally I can't connect. So to start the book off, so to start the
You
book off
dickhead.
not being able to connect with your child to being so connected to your child, right? that you gonna have to see me.
You're gonna have to see me, baby.
About my baby.
I
No way around it.
I just felt like I love a complex character.
She really did it with that book.
She was so complex, and there was definitely a forgiveness arc that I don't think what's his name, Tamaru. I can't stand that. I don't think he deserved, but I felt like Masaki was where she wanted to be, which was why I was okay with the ending. I didn't care nothing about anybody else but where she wanted to be. I also am messy, so I really like the whole I know I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna fight who I need to fight about you. I love that. So yeah, it was what it felt good to be a fantasy reader. Like I love fantasy, but this year I slumped really hard. I know it's because y'all said I was writing, but I started slumping even before I picked up a pen. And for a minute, fantasy books were starting to overwhelm me because already being in a slump and this book is 600 pages, that book single handedly restored my faith in the genre again. And it reminded me why I'm the fantasy girly.
Yeah, I feel like with Masaki, we got, or I got the things that I love about FMCs in different books all in one. Like we got the girl's girl, right? Her with the her sisters-in-laws, and then we got the mother, and then we got the wife, then we got the daughter. Like we got every facet. Then we got the warrior. Then we got every single facet of this
That's a
woman.
brother. I needed to know more about that brother.
And I'm just like, to your point, a complex character. I don't think I've read a character with that much depth and getting that much insight into just, again, all the things. All the things.
And her, right, because even when we go to her backstory and she brings this man home, and her father's
My
like,
bad.
this is a great guy. No.
We're going to spend the weekend together. We're going to
Brought him
barbecue.
home. No.
We'll take the boat out on the lake, but also, it's not happening.
And it's like she gets it, right? She's like, listen, I just had to. And she like, but again, Killa, when you were talking about the duality of it all, like, is it better to just stay in this narrow lane, or is it better to be out on the leash, but knowing you just have to come back home at the end of the day? And seeing her be able to explore, even though she knew her fate, you about to marry this old man who
Was he
hates
like 12 years
everybody.
older than her or something like that? He was a good amount older than her.
I struggle with that because, and I think I struggle with it more because even though she knew her fate, she found love. Like, it wasn't like she was just out there being great. Like, she actually found her person
Yeah.
and then knew that I have to leave this all behind.
Yeah.
And then to be with someone who refuses to acknowledge you, like you showed up with your credentials, right? Like, and he was like, "Put your sword down
And pick up
hide it
these
away.
pots and pans. You see that
Yep.
rock over there? Get the
We won't
frying
speak of
something.
it. We won't talk about it. Nobody will ever know what you've done because now it's time for you to clock in and be my." And I was just like, that's what I hated. And I feel like that added to why she couldn't connect with her children because her fate was, I need to sire these
But then
children for these
even when
men.
she had that moment
And
when her baby fell down and she's healing the boo-boo, and they're like, don't you teach that boy no blood magic. And she's like, so you just want my kid to bleed out?
yeah, like what you, like
What?
you're dumb.
I think there was also so many hidden gems. Like one of the things that broke my heart but healed it again was the relationship between the brother-in-law and her sister-in-law, and it was like as tragic as Takashi's death was, it was like she had so much pride. Like that's
Oh
how
yeah.
Because
When she was talking to her
went
baby and
out
she was
like a
like,
G.
she said he would have not wanted to go
He
any
wouldn't
other
any
way.
other way. He was born for that reason.
And the book was just so good, and when they tell you like read more diversely, I felt like in that moment, okay, Lee, like you don't know nothing about this culture, you don't know nothing about this customs, and for 600 pages, I felt like I understood the way of the people. And the crazy thing is we keep saying 600, but it could have been 300 pages more, and I would have read it.
Oh, I
Oh,
would have finished it, ate it up,
for sure.
ate it up.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
love
It took every opportunity to destroy me, and then it was like, but wait, there's more, and I was just like, I hate it here, but also turn
it.
the page.
Tell me more.
Oh, what's the worst?
So,
Kayla,
Killer,
what's your number 2?
My number 2 is by Chantel Davis.
Luciano.
oh, wait a second, you read that this year?
Yeah,
Because we did a hot take on her at the end of last season.
I had to double check because I track. It was this year.
I guess
Yep.
I guess we did 2 seasons in a year. Okay. All right. No, I'm just kidding. Luciano. I did enjoy Luciano. I did.
Yeah, we
Oh,
read it
we
in
did, because
May.
that was my first like voice on camera type thing was Saint. So we read Luciano. Yeah. Yeah.
That was end of April, early May.
Yeah.
So
Right before it. Yeah.
Your man, your man. I'll let you have
picture
your
this.
No. Skip. So my number 1. Go.
We already know why Luciano's your number 2.
Reclaiming my
Wait.
time. Reclaiming my time.
Go ahead.
The things that I loved about Luciano that I know you guys are gonna say the good, the bad outweighs the good. I don't care. Is I'm always gonna love an MMC who's like just goes for broke. Like I don't like none of this makes sense. You're my person. I'm not even socially inept to be your person, but you're mine. And we'll just figure this out as we go. But
As we go
also,
along.
I'm a sociopath.
Socia. But what I also like is that once Luciano decided very on in life that this was his person, he had the goons on the street looking out for her. Like he just was there and not there at the same time.
Because
And
they was
also
like,
very
oh
there at the
yeah,
same
your
time.
boyfriend. And she was like, I don't have a boyfriend. They're like,
Like, what you mean talk to him? Like he stopped by like once a week.
He's outside
I
your
see him all the time. All the time.
he's
And
watching
she's like,
he's watching
what?
outside your house every night. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
And so what I also liked about it is I think we got a different type of FMC because a lot of times in these, soft kidnappings, hard kidnappings, whatever we're calling it.
What did T call it? T called it something under the comments. Is she?
Oh, Chantel loved it too. Chantel was like, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna have to figure out what you put. But usually in these, held against your will situations, the woman is really just like, let me out, let me out, let me out. I don't want to be here. Ava was like, I'm gonna peep game while I'm here. Because even though I don't want to be here, there's something about you and the way you move that I feel like I can learn from and I can boss up while I'm here. And that was just a different spin on it. It's like, also like, let me go, you freak, but also teach me how to shoot. How do you track people? What is your motive? Like, how do you, and I love that dynamic. And so like, yeah, everything about that, like even now, like every time I talk about it, I cannot stop smiling because I love that book. I'm gonna reread it. That's gonna be one of my December reads. I love that book.
Really
I
good.
love. I'm gonna read it. And then I like so it's book 2 of the No Saviors Here. So Saint, I enjoyed Saint,
Love
but
Saint.
I really just liked Luciana, and I liked the fact that when they were talking and hanging out, he was like, "Go, why haven't you taken her yet?"
My
Taking her
favorite
there.
part.
Yeah.
My favorite parts of Saint were when Luciana was present and he was just like, "Well, just go take her." Like their friendship
Like,
was
yeah,
insane. Like
And this is how it goes, guys. Saint's like, da 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 da. He's like, mm-hmm. He's like, so what about? He's like, Ava. He was like, yeah, just and Saint's having literally a conversation by himself because Luciano only knows 12 words.
What
And
works on a good day?
so we're just sitting there, and Luciano's like, take her. And he's like, yeah, like, why are you sitting around watching this girl? Just go get her and bring her back. And he's like,
Why haven't you come to this on your own? I don't understand.
That's
So
when
yeah,
we started rubbing together. I said, "Oh,
yeah. When I seen that, I said, oh, Luciano's finna be a time.
it
yeah.
was a time. I'll give you that. It was a time."
So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just them coming closer together. Because with Saint we got a weird dynamic. Because like we all ended Saint not knowing if we trusted old girl, right? We're like,
Right. His wife.
does she love him? Does she not? Is she gonna try like? And so we left that one so uneasy. But with this, I was like, yeah, they grew together in the most toxic, weird way, and it was beautiful, and I loved
Mama,
it.
we have to check on
Yeah,
Killer.
but
Please keep Killer
yeah,
in your thoughts and prayers. She's unwell.
because I knew I was gonna have a good time with that book early on when she first gets there, and he told his guards, he was like, nobody touches her. But then she tries to run away, and
And
so
the guard literally was like,
any guard who's on the clock is gonna be like, "Hey, don't leave." No,
but
and
also I
Luciano
asked you not to
without
touch
even
her.
missing a
So you
beat.
should have just shot her because why would you put your hands on her?
Why would you put your hands on? I told you not to touch her. So now you have to die. Like, and I don't make the rules.
I
I don't make the rules.
guys, I just work here.
So it was just like the epitome of touch her and die, and
Very
like
much
this
so.
whole faded thing where he was just like, to Lee's point, he figures out really young that so much so that she's his person that I have to leave because I don't know what to do with this information. Let me go rescue you real quick. Hi, I'm Luciano. You're Ava. It's nice to meet you. There's the house. I'm going to disappear for 10 years.
Ooh, is this
It just.
illegal? Ooh, illegal.
So, and then when he came back, he was like, "Oh, you remember we met like 10 years ago? I'm back. We're
She's
getting
like, what?
married
I do not know you.
tomorrow."
I saw
Come
you
on,
one time. I was in high school.
come on. And he's like,
Speaking of
"So
high
what?
school, yeah, crazy.
What's your number one?
Okay.
If you pick a YA for your number one, we're gonna have a conversation."
I mean, that's her business.
No, it's
No, it's
not. That's
not.
none of my
It's
business.
not.
I
Blink
don't
two
have
times
any
if you
part.
need help.
Okay, so back in October.
Wow, you just read it. Okay.
back
Back in
there,
October. Oh, I know which one this is. I bet.
I
Go
think I know
ahead.
too. But go ahead.
I decided again, I wanted to read all the weird things. So there's this author, she had a new novella coming out. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. She was like, it's witchy, and I was like, cool, 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 cool. That's what I'm trying to read. So I read the novella. Then I remembered, aha, I also bought some stuff because I don't know why. I have that. So I read like 5 novellas back to back to back to back to back to back to back. So I pick up this book because it's on her list of like, if you're looking for something witchy and da 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 da, here's stuff from my catalog. And I was like, oh, I read that. Let me read this. I picked up the book thinking it was a novella. It was not. That thing was 400 pages.
Ooh.
But you ate it up.
What is this? I don't
I know
know.
what it is. It's the candy corn.
Candy Corn Curses.
Oh, by Ari Day.
Aria Days.
Because when
Yeah.
T talked about it, I was like, I'm just going to let you talk. Because what are you talking about candy corn? She was like, kill it, kill it, kill it. Let me explain.
Let me
Let me
explain.
explain.
Let me explain how this lady thinks she a human and she not human. And how this demon thinks he's one type of demon, but he not that type of demon. And then when they meet, things happen, irreversible things.
I'm confused. But that's
No.
Like when she was dropping voice notes to me, Lee, I was like, "See, this sounds." I said, "There's so much going on right now. I don't know.
So
I don't know."
you have a girl, you meet her, and she's had this reoccurring dream for like over a decade. Just the same
I
dream
love that. I
ends
love that.
at the same spot.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
one day the dream just goes further, right? So she's in the snow and she's like, help. And there's this little house, with the smoke in the chimney, right?
I got
And
to read
she's
it.
like, help. And then she always wakes up. But this time she heard like a woof and then saw like somebody like running towards her. And so even though she's screaming for help, she's like,
Like I need help, but not you. Like
not you.
not you.
Are you running through Miss Dais's catalog right now? Because I heard everything she writes is fire.
I mean, I didn't know she had a pen like that. And I didn't know she was at BRBF either. So if she's there this year, next year, I'm finna seek her out because I'm
Did
gonna
you see
need a
she had
couple
a
things.
thing? She had a Thanksgiving quickie.
I think that one's about to come out.
Oh, you're right. It didn't come out yet. I was testing it. Comes out on the 11th
I
of
will be
November.
reading it. Yes, yes, ma'am. But yeah, so she has this reoccurring dream. Da 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 da. Da. So then she's at a party. Her best friend. I think her best friend leaves her there. Crappy. And so she's like, man, I'm going home. Goes home, starts snoring real bad. Car spins, bada 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 ba. She's in a field. Now she's walking her dream. She's limping along. She sees the
The
house with the smoke
house
coming
with
out
the
the
smoke
chimney.
coming out.
How? How? Woo. And then she wakes up in the house. Then it switches to his point of view. He's like, what do you call the lust demons? What is their specific name? Like I don't know. He's a lust demon. So he is a lust demon that hates having sex.
See, when T was dropping voice notes, I was like, T, what is happening in this
It's
book?
such
But
a
she was
book
having such
of
a good time.
misfits. Nothing should go together, and the way she brings it together, I'm like, yes, ma'am. I hate stuff like that. I hate demons. Now, I did have to plead the blood a couple of times, okay? But when I tell you that the plot kept twisting, and then it turned, and then it jumped and twists, and I was like, "Are you Simone Biles? Because what's happening here?"
I used to walk by.
So good.
That's hilarious.
That's my number one. Once I read it, I was like, I do need to get through other stuff, but I do need to reread this. And I think that's what it was. Like once I was like, I need to get back in here and like really reread it again. I was like, oh yeah, like this is it for me. This is it.
I
I love
love
it.
that your number one is a recent one because if you wouldn't have read it, you wouldn't have had that good time. You
And
would have never knew.
everybody talks about Aria Days' her group trip, which okay,
Okay.
you gotta be grown to regroup. Like you gotta be at least. See, how old are you? 32?
Not grown enough?
No, no.
Miss Days looks like she ain't even that old.
And this is her problem. Is she's minding grown people business. Because why is she writing this?
So you remember when you told me that I needed to do some homework and study? You want me to read Group Trip? This is the
I
type of
want you to
homework.
read Group Trip, and I want you to read Take One for the Team or whatever it's called.
See, and even when you were talking through group trip, I was like, T, why is this so complicated? There's so many moving parts. I was like,
Because it's
she was
a
like,
group trip.
and then you were like, and then, he was on the bed. I said, wait, is that her boyfriend? He was like, no. And I'm like, wait, how did he? I was like, and she was like, Kelly, you just got to read it. She was like, it's a good time. It's a good time.
I feel like I ain't gonna read something until somebody random posts a quote from the book that you've been telling her to read for 10 years. when she got in that group chat and she talked about, ooh, this looks juicy, and she put LaQuay, and I had been like literally sound.
I was like,
I was
So
like,
listen, real talk. All the books that we're talking about today, I'm gonna forget in an hour. I'm going to forget them, except the ones I've already read. So what happens is when I see something, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Now I've clocked it. So yeah, I'm not gonna remember the books we're talking about today. I'm not. I don't know why my brain doesn't retain that.
okay, Snake, what's your
number one, girl.
my number one? I want to hear Killa's number one. But I'll
going in this order the whole night, and now you want to switch it up. No.
so this Finding Me by Viola Davis was my number one read of the year because it landed when I needed it the most. One, it's a phenomenal memoir in general, right? Like we had a whole hot take episode about it.
This one via osmosis, so I enjoyed the third.
But it was like she was really there. It was like you were there.
But the commentary Miss Davis had, I needed it. Like, girl, stay down. That girl didn't get a break till she was in her late 40s.
40s.
So I'm gonna keep writing these books, even if these two are the only one who read it. Because maybe by the time I get to the 79th book, somebody will find me. They'll go back through that whole catalog. And maybe, I don't know.
Ladies find out about it. I've seen multiple authors on threads that's like, thank you to such and such who just bought my entire catalog. Thank you for, and I'm like, first of all, I need a job so I can buy some full catalog. Second of all, yes.
Yeah. I will say Bray's helping with that because I had a few orders today of someone buying all 3 books and pre-ordering the 4th, and I think that came from getting 3 months in a crop for free, liking it, and being like, oh,
let's see what else.
Yeah,
I love a let's see what else.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely.
I will say that with Finding Me, my 2 best friends who do not read, well, one doesn't read at all. She's just adamantly against it. And the other likes to read, she just hasn't enough time. They've both read it since we read it. I was like, look at me influencing people. But it's that good. Like we went out to lunch and I was telling them about it. And then like 2 weeks later, our friend was like, how do I read this without having to read it? And I was like, audiobook. And I said, and she narrates it. I was like, it's really good. But yeah, that one, I struggled with that one. And the reason why I didn't make my top 5 is because I didn't have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, great story, but I did not have a good time.
No, Killer was down bad. Like, and here's the thing, is like, I know it was such a good story because Killer don't be down bad much. Killer could read lots of things and be like, it was fine. Me and Lee have passed out and are rolling around in the gutter. And Killer's like, yes, on to the next.
Because there was children.
And he was Mordecai, and the part that y'all were like, when you get to chapter 8, I got to it, I was like, man, that's crazy. And I'm like, it was sad, but I was like, oh, okay.
It did you in Killer. But I started reading Finding Me last year, and I never understood when people said soft DNF. Y'all know I don't really DNF books to begin with. So if I DNF a book, it's not because it's not good. Like, it's probably triggering something. But I DNF'd this book last year for no reason at all. No triggers, no nothing. I just wasn't in the mood.
You're waiting on me. You're waiting to read it with me. That's what it was.
I mean, yeah, I guess I was waiting to read it with you, but I also think that I needed it more this year than I did last year.
For sure.
Which is why I was supposed to wait to read it this year.
I was sobbing.
Oh, and that's the thing. Killer is a thug. She'll shoot the day, right? And she was trying to give us a voice note, and she's like, oh, and I'm like, oh my gosh, call the police. Something's wrong.
Not your wife.
Oh. Like, and I literally, like, when I finished it was on the audio. And I was making my kids, like, lunch on a Saturday and couldn't even see the plate because...
hello, what's wrong? And she was like, I
Oh,
just, and I'm like, all right, Joe, like, what?
yeah,
Like,
it took
and
me
that's
through
why I'm
there.
like, I don't like to see Killer in, so now I'm part of the problem because don't read nothing like that no more.
Lately.
Yeah, it took me out, but in the best way. But also, that's why I couldn't pick it. I was like, phenomenal.
But you
And
wouldn't
anytime
read a
someone's like,
book
I like
that brought
memoirs, I'm
out
like,
so
you
much
do.
emotion, like that doesn't garner epicness.
I don't like to feel.
No, I know. So the fact that it does means it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great, but you made me feel things I didn't want to feel. So for that, you lose.
I don't know. There's not a thing. And here's the thing. I don't think about the trauma of that book. There are a lot of trauma, yes. But for me, the message, there's not a day that goes by where I'm not thinking of one of the inspiring parts of that book. Like just keep swimming or just keep chugging, right? Just keep, um, I can't believe as a fiction girly, a nonfiction book made it to my number one book spot of the year. And
But that shows how good it is. That's what I'm saying. Like it defies everything.
ever since we were talking about it, did we do a group review? I don't know. Maybe it was my Substack
Mhm.
post. I've been getting nonfiction books in the mail every week from publishers. They're like, you go here. I'm like, whoa, I did not say I go here.
They said you do, and you're welcome.
And like y'all know, I don't even like that soft stuff. And like when she gets her Julius, and I'm just like, oh my god, everything about that
Y'all should
book.
have been in a group chat because this was a time.
And I kept saying like, T, you need to read it. You was like, I feel like I'm already reading it. Just keep dropping the voice notes.
Keep dropping them
Just
Absolutely.
keep dropping the voice
because if you
notes.
think I'm if Miss Thug cried,
You know what's crazy though? I didn't cry. What does that say about me? And I cry easily.
that says
It
you
just
were
goes to show.
emotionally numb because you were writing books and busy. That's what it says.
Maybe. Maybe. It was a good story.
And it just goes to show that experience with books is going to be vastly different because there are parts, like going back to Sword of Kaigen, the part that broke my heart in Sword of Kaigen, that almost brought me to tears, wasn't the one that brought y'all to tears. Same book, we equally loved it, bless you. It was just like, my part was, the grave thing. Tore me apart. Tore me apart.
I cried
Like,
several times during Sword of Kaigen. Several times. I cried at that too. Several times.
so when we got to the one when y'all were like, "Oh my god, wait till you get the chat," that one didn't get me. But like when I got to that one, I was like, "Got a little something about Jesus."
That one got me because it was like, had his mama just let the daddy have Adam, he would have never learned that, right? He would have never gotten the culmination of all the parts put together just so that he could be the youngest to do it. And it was like, also, your daddy is raggedy.
He's so raggedy.
And
I had to go
also,
be one with the mountain.
congratulations. It was just so much.
Too much. Too much. I hated it. I loved it and I hated it all at the same time.
Killa, it's your time.
It's time.
So my number one, I think we've talked ad nauseum about it, but I'm gonna talk about it again, is Our Vicious Oaths. And so what world do we live in
I knew it.
that I have a fantasy
I
as my
knew
number
it.
one? Lee has a doggone nonfiction as a number one. I have a fantasy.
And
And
T
T has
has
a
a
book that she
demon.
read. A demon. Left is right, right is left, up is down. Night is day, black is white. The reason why Our Vicious Oaths is my number one is, and again, I won't harp on it because we've talked about it a lot. We have a whole episode with Annie Davenport. Shout out to Annie for being our first author interview. But for me to have a book that I was kind of dreading it, I wanted to read it because I kept seeing like the little blurbs about 7 Foot Shadow Dad, and I'm like, that was intriguing me, but I also
somebody
knew
who
like
didn't want to read it, you literally jumped right in there.
I jumped right in, right? And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna request it on NetGalley. I'm not gonna get it because NetGalley's gonna be like, this trick don't read fantasy. Why would we give this to her? I think I got approved right away. And then I was like, dang, this is not a small book. So then I also was like, sorry, NetGalley, for wasting your time because I'm not going to read this. And then I think I had posted about it, and I think Jazz had DM was like, let me know, like check in as you're going. And I'm thinking like, it's not, whatever, I'll read it. It was giving everything it needed to give. And I don't know if that helps in these
Every
arguments.
other voice note was, y'all need to read this.
Yes.
Y'all could just open
And
this book and just read it.
and
Please.
they left me in the lurch. Like, I think Lee was writing. T was like, I'm not reading it right now. I'm not going to read it right now. You were like in the midst of your stuff. And I was just like, I was by myself.
You were. Yes.
By myself.
Yes.
And
you hit it. What month did you get it in? You hit it really early.
You
Like
get
in
it like March or April or something.
it was, yeah, it was good. So I loved what brought me there, like what put me to the table isn't what kept me there. Right? Like, yes, the 7-foot shadow daddy, I love Malachi, my man. I love him. But Kadisha's character is just,
FMC.
I love a strong FMC. And like when it
Yep.
came out the gate with her squadron, and I'm like, oh, you're her. And then like, oh, whatever. There's a whole episode.
Whole episode.
It was very good. It was good. And so good that I immediately turned around and went into the blood trials and the blood oaths.
For more fantasy.
Mind you, the audio is 18 hours.
For part 1 and
one
part 2.
and 2.
Killa got her claws in me though, because she was like, hey, if you can listen to this in 3 days, we can start on Monday. And I was like, let me start right now.
But I always know when I get T, like, you have T hooked when the voice notes are just disjointed babble. And it's like, Killa, I'm going to keep reading. And then like, that'd be the note.
Because
it's like,
Hannah really
yes.
was all over the place. She was on my nerves. It was really like, if I just need to snatch her up real quick, give her a good shaking, and maybe we can talk some sense into this girl. But no, so yeah, those 2 18-hour books, and mind you, this was crunch time at lunchtime because we had the interview like at the end of the week. So me and Killa are like, okay, girl, are we gonna make it? And then that book ended the way it ended. And I said, no, ma'am.
She ML Wong this. She ML Wong this. Grievances will be filed. This is just not. Because again, I have not been victimized by 2 authors this year. I don't appreciate it.
I know. At least Annie was, gracious enough to lie to us and say she might write a 3rd one. And Mel
give me hope. I'll cling to it. I've been waiting on Zane to drop book 2 of this for 20 years.
You gonna ask her about it at BRB?
She better, because if she don't, I will.
Listen, it's propped up right here. My book.
Killa, what's that book? I'm gonna write this book. It's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years, and I'm still holding on to that epilogue for dear life because she said in the epilogue, it is coming.
Listen, baby.
Why does she hate me?
Writers lie all the time.
Baby, it ain't nothing for a ninja to lie, baby.
Put it in black and white.
Make it happen. Even if it's a novella or a short, I need you to deliver. It's trifling, but like I said, hopefully when we get our author list for BRBF, she's on there, and I can be like, question, just off the record, why do you hate me? Just
you said
I need the book.
F my firstborn son. You say
my dog and my mother, because give me my book. And again, that's another book that doesn't make sense to why I love it so much, because it's not Zane's typical work. It's very not like her. She's usually, I love her erotica, I love her steam, and this one is definitely more, it's my palate cleanser cozy read. I've reread it like 5 times. Like, why do I love this stupid book? And why won't she give me book two?
Everything Kelly has told us about herself, I don't believe. And let me tell you why. Since we've known Kelly, she's told me she doesn't like YA, but a YA book made her number 6 spot. She told me she didn't like fantasy, and fantasy book made the number 1 spot. She told me she didn't like women on the covers, but quite literally, I showed her a cover the other day for a book, and she was like, "I love that cover," and there was a woman. So when we
Kayla literally has all these rules, but then on the flip side, she's like, there's gotta be something out there. And it's like,
Yes.
Kayla, it's like 3 things left as we put in your filter, it's only 3 items.
So, yes, I read things and I am so pleased with the books that I have found. But then I do realize that sometimes I go too far. Like I fell in love with a fantasy trilogy this year and book 3 burned me. And that's fine. So I'm like, so that's why now I'm even more rigid. But I think that's where my rules are so fluid. It's like now I'm willing to read more genres and different things, but I'm also now like I'll only read 2, and if I'm ending on a high note, I'm stopping. I'm stopping. You won't be able to convince me to do it again. I'm not going to do it. Which is why I was like with the one we were just talking about with MLA. I'm like, I don't want to risk reading another one and having it diminish this love that I have for her. I'm just gonna think. I think I'm just gonna end on a high note. Yep. Sorry.
I'm gonna give it some time before I do it, before I hop in it again into the MOA, because I'm like, there are a bunch of other fantasy authors, especially the 2 that Nia recommended.
I was just gonna say Nia just gave us 2.
And then there's a R.F. Kwong that I need to peek at. So like I have time, I have room, I have space to get these other things done.
And eventually the dementia will set in and I'll forget that I read it. So
the good news is, and this is a high note to end the season, at least for me, when we first started this whole like finding a fantasy book that Kelly liked, Kelly didn't think she'd like anything. So the single fact that not 1 but 2 fantasies made your top 5 list of the year, you can hate
I give you credit for it too.
You could hate any other fantasy book that I suggest. I don't feel like I could take credit for Our Vicious Oaths, but fine. But it doesn't matter what fantasy book I suggest, you can hate them all. I'm like Ray J. I hit it first. I hit it first. Okay? Boom.
So what type of fantasies were these?
So the fantasy gods don't come from me. Technically, you can call Our Vicious Oath a urban fantasy, and what makes things urban isn't the same thing that makes them urban when we're talking about romance. Urban fantasies are things that take place that don't have to take place in a very far away world, right? Like, I don't know about you. I know that technically Our Vicious Oath was in a different world, but like when they were describing things, I still very much seen things in our world. You get what I'm saying? Versus Sword of Kaigen was a high fantasy because they were like up on this mountain thing, and not that people can live on mountains, but it just felt more like out of our reach.
A snowy peninsula, yeah.
Technically, because there's so much romance and erotica focus, you would definitely call Our Vicious Oaths a romantasy.
A romantasy.
Absolutely, it was well done. Even though there's love in Sword of Kaigen, that's ain't no touching, no loving. No. There was no time we were fighting, so it is a traditional like high stakes urban fantasy. I didn't read the Blood Oaths with y'all. She said it wasn't YA, so it's probably a
new adult. I think she said
new adult.
I think it's also a high fantasy because there's a lot of battles, and it sounded like they were in a completely different world. So, I mean, I would have to read it to be able to really like tell you what it is.
I read 11 fantasy books this year. 11. I didn't realize.
You enjoyed Fourth Wing. Like, you enjoyed a good amount of them.
And that's why I was like, I feel like to me, it's like doing research. I have to get the data to do the research. Like, I think that's why I keep pushing through, because I'm like, what was it about Fourth Wing that I loved. It was the action of it. Like it was so much happening that it kept me engaged. And then like with the, which I don't know what we call them. Are they rom-com fantasies? Like the Get It, the Love Potion. Like they're not high fantasy, but they're fun and they're yeah. They were just fun. And I was like, okay. And then of course they were spicy, but like the more I read, I'm like, okay, I thought I didn't like this, but I actually do like it if it's in this setting. And then I thought I do like this, but actually I don't unless so I feel like I'm conducting research and everyone is like a banger. Like I haven't had one, like I said, I didn't love um Sarah, what was her name? Yeah, Battle Drum. Like I enjoyed it, like it was okay, but I didn't love it. But like even Jill 2's book, The Dividing Sky, I genuinely liked it.
We
I
didn't read
genuinely
Battle
liked
Drum
it.
this
Or
year.
did you finish the new one?
I'm reading it right now. I'm actually
We
about
didn't read the Battle Drum this
30%.
year. Did we? We didn't read the Battle Drum this
That
year.
was last year. That was last year.
We finished the third book this year.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't participate. But yeah, so like The Dividing Sky, which was dystopian, which I would have said before I hated dystopian.
Yeah.
And then I read hers. But the storyline was so good, it kept me engaged. So, you know, and I realize I am a little delusional because I remember telling my dad one time that I hate science fiction, and he was like, what do you think Back to the Future and all these movies? And I was like, they're entertaining. He was like, science fiction. Like,
Well, here's the thing about Killa is if you get too much into labeling, she's gonna cancel herself out.
yeah,
You
I'm like, I
know,
don't.
I think that as long as there's a nice cover, you can just go ahead and redact the back of the information. Let her go on blind. She'll have a she will like it or she will not. But you have the best. If I would have slapped a different cover on Harlem Rhapsody, she at least would have opened it.
Here's the thing
Yeah.
with Killa also is Killa is like sell me on it, and I'm like no, because I'm finna say it's a landmine out there.
The less
Okay?
I say, the
And
better.
I might say the wrong. I might say he's 50. I don't read 50-year-olds. I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's
She
like,
has figured it out. She's figured it out. I'm not just gonna say anything. You just need to read it. Yeah, you definitely.
so the things I'm not pressed about Killa should read, I will just tell because Killa's gonna be like, oh, okay, nice, and I'm not offended. But if I want her to read it, I'd be like, okay, Killa, two people meet, they bang, somebody ends up dead, and there's a cat with a yellow shoe. She's like, I'm intrigued.
I want to read it. Just like Lee was like, hey, I'm writing something about Thanksgiving. It's cozy. You want to read it? I was like, you know, I can't do it right now. I'm not in the headspace. A week later, she sends a screenshot and it's like they banged in the shed. I was like, they banged in the shed? Send it to me.
to me.
I don't know what triggers it. Like, there's just certain things that y'all say, or that like
So
people pick sometimes the right line.
I give
And I'm like, I wanna
Killa
read it.
anything that I want. If I want her to read it, I have to be like, the blue fox not knocks on box. And she's like, okay, when you want to start? Let's start on Monday. I'm like, all right, girl.
You make a pacing guide. I'm gonna ignore.
I'm gonna ask for the pacing guide. Yeah, and then I'm like, what pacing guide? And I'm gonna forget where it was. I don't know why I'm the way I am. But yeah, I think that's Lee is usually so excited. And then I'm like,
That's my
She
fault.
loves to rain on people's parade. It's just who she is. She's a bully. She'll tell you that. So when Lee comes in hot, I be trying to like fan her off. Like you gotta relax. Don't let her see your joy because then she's just
Kitty, slow down.
Lee's like, let me go. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's
So,
hilarious.
yeah. So yeah. I don't know what it is, but I am thankful for the evolution this year. Like I said, I've read so many books this year that I would have not have ever picked up. Ever. So I appreciate y'all influencing me, all the book stuff influencing me. I mean, Annie Davenport said it like the content creators are the one who's getting it. They're out there killing it. They're just dropping little nuggets, and it's like, I'm gonna read
I'm
it.
telling you,
I'm gonna read it.
Threads really right now is introducing a lot of indie authors. I like newer indie authors. Um, that's where I've been finding a lot of my good reads. They're like, if I could just get the 50 pre-orders. I'm like, girl, add my one. And then I read it and I'm like, this is good. So Threads and also the community on Threads. This week is Peace Week. We're having a good time over there.
It's very peaceful. Somebody
We
posted.
don't know how long it'll last, but right
No,
now we're
no,
good.
no. I
They
quite
just
literally seen somebody post something, and somebody comment was like, "Take this down right now.
right
We're at
now.
peace." And she did.
We're not doing this week.
We're in a ceasefire. This is not the time. It's not
And
Not
the
we're
we
time.
don't
talking
have
about
time.
couples and glasses and book stacks right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have to kind of be careful because they be posting they little library, and I be like, when y'all get that? How y'all get that? And I have to remember I'm very new to purchasing books.
You
So
are.
a lot of things that the girlies have been buying books, and I just was content with my little Kindle, like renting and returning. Child, I done read so many books I can't even name them.
T lets Kindle refer books to her, and I don't understand
All
that.
the time.
I have never once clicked on that you would enjoy ever read on my Kindle.
Why? So here's the
Because
thing. It's like it's
don't
not
tell me
even.
what I like.
They be right though.
But yep, I'm the problem. I know I'm the problem. But again, I am growing and
Do you have reading goals for next year?
so yes and no. Yeah,
Okay.
have you ever had like a non-goal? I think my goal is to
I feel like
stop.
you guys yell at me for having non-goals, so
Yeah. Because like I'm such a type. I'm like, I have to have a number. Even if it's ambiguous, I'm like, I have to have a number I'm striving for. Because what is the point? What is the point of reading if I'm not striving to get to a point? And everybody else would be like, entertainment, relaxation, escapism. I'm like, no, accomplishing a goal. So, but I think that's what hit my slump really bad. Like, I don't know what happened. Or, like, it wasn't all MOA. Like, that one did take me out, but I think I was just cramming through so many books, and I was like, well, that quite literally, I got to the point where anytime someone was like, I was disgusted. I was like, I don't want to read it. Ew. I don't like it. Yuck. So I think for next year, I'm going to probably chase vibes more than I ever have. And
did you
just read
have
what
a
I want
number
outside of
goal this year for your books?
it was 75.
Did you make it?
I'm at 91.
No, I'm saying I set a goal. I'm not going to make it, and I'm disappointed. So I'm not setting goals anymore. Because the whole point of reading is fun, and now I'm over here. Like
What was your
if
goal?
I read this many, but it was 100. So
Here's
my
the
goal
thing, Lee, is that you fail to readjust every aspect. You say, okay, I'm gonna read 100 books. And then when you decide you're gonna write 10 books, you don't adjust the number.
Yeah.
So when you hit publish on
All
the
your
first book
rereads.
and the second book was coming, you should have said, okay, all right, I'm an author
Your
now.
rereads count. I'm sure if you count all your rereads of your work, you hit 100. You hit
Period.
it. You hit it.
I think
But yeah.
more realistically, now that I try to write something every day. Sometimes that something is me just editing a chapter I already wrote and it's 20 minutes. Sometimes I get in a 4-hour writing session. So I think what's fair is one book a week, which kind of equates out to like 48 books a year, right? I think 52. I guess no, I can't do
52. How about babe? There's 52 weeks in a year.
52. And the reason why I'm even saying that
Pumpkin.
is I take these long college, so I easily knock an audiobook out in a week just from the hour and a half commute there, hour and a half commute back twice a week, right? So that's 6 hours in a car. So that's gonna be my new goal for the new year. Well, I'm also just striving in my life balance. Like I feel so out of balance. And granted, I'm gonna give myself grace because reading used to be my safe space, but now that I write, I get sick of books. But I also don't like TV. So like all day today, I just listened to music and I was jamming, and I was like, and that's okay. Like you wrapped up a book. You're not starting another. I can't tell you how many books I'm in the middle right now. And that's not me. There's like 6 books I'm in the middle, and they're none of them are bad. I'm just like, I have 2 chapters of Our Vicious Oath left. Two.
And
Two.
it's been for 3 weeks. You've had 2 chapters left.
Well, to be fair, I was waiting on the audiobook because I was sick of hearing series
For the
voice.
last 2 chapters, you sound like T right now. You
And
sound like our
did
friend,
I
our
use
good sis T.
higher credit for 2 chapters? I did. I did. But I'll probably start that thing from the beginning because I heard the immersive reading was really good for Our Vicious Hope. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for sharing your top 5 reads. And that was Tea Time with
Kelly.
T.
and Lee. See you next season.